Welcome, precious souls. This is going to be so short and sweet. I got a channeled message and it was so powerful. Like, it was crazy. So I have asked that this message only finds those that's meant to. And maybe you know somebody that's meant to hear this message. If so, make sure they get it. Okay, so prediction time. There is already, but definitely going to be multiplied. I have to check this after because I'm feeling like weird energy here. I felt weird energy up here. There's a lot of weird energy going on. Okay, anyways, this is important. I'm talking to two groups, two people that have a very special purpose. You've been through actual narcissistic abuse. You're being called if this feels like it resonates with you, and only if, because there's a lot of frauds out there. There is great, massive success coming up for anybody who gets in the law field and anybody who gets into the actual counseling field. I also saw couples counseling would be massive benefit. So for those of you who are not sure which direction you're supposed to take this, for those of you who are not sure where you're supposed to end up, and you've been through narcissistic abuse, there is a massive calling now, but especially within the next year, and definitely beyond, for people who attain education certification in the law with regard to domestic violence, but specifically narcissistic abuse, and a huge call for people who are looking to get into any form of counseling whatsoever that have specifically gone through narcissistic abuse. And even more specifically, if you really want to expand, you will also do couples counseling. I just got another download. Okay, hold on, bear with me. Also specifically counseling for children that are currently going through with narcissistic abuse, as in parents. This is going to be a massive success, and there is a massive shortage already, but there will still be such a surplus of a need for these resources in the very near future. It's going to be a very difficult. There's so many. Like, I know, speaking for myself, anybody who's been on the other side of healing beyond a narcissist, you know right away, you never ever get conned into going to counseling, because the counselors will epically fail. They will be manipulated. And they will literally take sides with the narcissist and leave you more victimized, a lot more trauma. But anyways, I've known this for a while, but I've known that this is a big need for a while. But I really, especially with me going through the law system and everything like that, lawyers and people that will claim, oh yes, I've experienced domestic abuse, I understand it. No, there's so many frauds out there. I've seen incredible people lose hundreds of thousands of dollars to these lying, fraudulent lawyers. So I'm talking specifically to people who have done the healing work, who've gotten through the trauma, healed their inner child trauma, that have got them through the narcissistic trauma, the trauma bonds, all the words, the gaslighting, there is going to be a massive calling for people to anything to do with narcissistic abuse, being the survivor of one, really being able to empathize, the empaths I'm talking to, there's a calling for some that are going to be the counselors that are going to help people to be validated and actually get out of those deadly, dangerous um, circumstances. And then there are the lawyers on the other side, which are going to help regain the balance. This year, next year, I'm seeing the next couple of years are huge. If you look on Facebook, you're probably starting to see a lot of people are coming out and just telling their stories. That's because this year, which we're already a quarter of the way through or something, this year is a huge year. All of the truths are resurfacing, are being exposed. And anybody who gets into these fields, counselors, especially couples, because remember, anybody who's a victim of narcissistic abuse, we need someone who's strong in the mind and who can see through those devils. They can see through. I mean, your intuitive abilities are, like chef's kiss, like, Queen of Swords, like high discernment. These people are really, you are being called to get any kind of certification whatsoever to counsel, especially couples, because you want to also help those that are trapped in it, that are looking for any validation that what they're feeling is right without the monster taking over the dialogue. Okay? I mean, like, I remember I got conned into the counseling. I paid, $180 an hour to this woman who claimed she had, really specialized in all this. And the first thing she did was tore me apart, side with him, and say, I'm attracted to men like your husband. Not even kidding. That's what she did. And because I was attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked, and I literally just sat there like a mouse and just stopped saying anything after a while. I was afraid to even speak. She got like so much money, thousands, out of me, and kept me stuck there for a very long time. It was really despicable. But anyways, there is a huge calling for people who have suffered from narcissistic abuse, come out on the other side, and can sense it, can see past their crap. We need strong discernment people, men and women, to sit on the other side of the table and advocate for these people who are trying to free themselves from these dark entities, because the rewards will be so much. Like, I know there's one lawyer somewhere down in the city in Canada. They're so... She couldn't even, there was such a cry out for her. She specialized because she survived narcissistic abuse, and she's one hell of a lawyer apparently, but she actually wrote a book on how to get through the system. Just bear with me. She wrote a book on how to A Survivor's Guide to Surviving Separation. How to get through a lot of this process, because she tells you what you need legally, like the steps to expect. She really tries to load people up with as much information that they can, because she couldn't help everybody. And so of course she wanted to help others in the best way she could. So she shares a lot of her knowledge. It's an absolutely incredible book, and I thank a very dear friend of mine who had loaned this to me. It's fascinating, but I'm saying this channeled message came out, and I'm like, oh, freak, yes, this makes sense. You will be so successful. And it's not all about the money. I mean, anybody who's been through narcissistic abuse, it's all about the justice. It's the justice, it's the prevention, it's the sharing the word. It's the worst hell ever. And this is your calling. If this is reaching you, or you know someone who's in law and they're not sure which direction to take it, and you know someone who's, this is going to reach the right people. And I know this because this channeled message was so strong, so strong. And then this book literally laying right there, right on the table beside, yeah, this is important. This was meant to come out. Again, take a screenshot, whatever, write it down. Can you see that? Is that blurred? Heather D. Alexander, okay? A Survivor's Guide to Surviving Separation. This is someone who understands completely, and she is an incredible lawyer. No, she's booked out probably for the next 10 years, okay? But it's not a lot. It's just enough. She shares her wisdom and knowledge, legal advice. But in the meanwhile, those of you who have survived narcissistic abuse, this will be your calling. You will absolutely feel this when I share this message. And you're going to help so many men and women that have gone through this. And sadly enough, it's mostly women because of the way of the world, right? The way it's been. And by helping these people to escape the shackles of these horrid monsters, they're going to go on to heal others as well. So understand that your schedule will be as full as you want it to be. You will never be out of work. And anyways, you're being called to do this. So I'm sharing this with you now. This was a very strong message. Okay, guys, we're all in this together. Shine brightly.